evening, everyone, and welcome to the first edition of Baseball on the Island Giveaway. I'm your host, Vinny Masana. I'm here along with our reporter, Nikita Grant. We have a great program in store for you tonight, and we have a special guest this evening. Let's jump right into the biggest news from the weekend, and that's Hopkins shocking sweep our number 25 nationally ranked college of Charleston. After falling behind in the top of the 11th inning on Friday night, we got some heroics from David Liederman. He hit a two-run walk-off home run left field and sent the Pride into a frenzy and stayed off the field. On Saturday, freshman John Rooney had the biggest start of his young career to this point. He struck out 8 in the complete game, allowed only 1 run on 4 hits and 1 walk. Senior Brian Call drove in all 3 runs in a 3-1 victory. On Sunday, they concluded the sweep with an 8-7 win. Liederman again had a big afternoon. He had 2 hits, 4 RBIs, and stole a base. Despite allowing 3 runs, Teddy Silas got the win in the lead from Bowman Madison. Gloucester is back in contention with a 4-7 conference record, and they will have a big series this weekend in North Carolina against Elon University. So we're going to go to break, and we have a special guest coming up.
Baseball on the Island is sponsored by Modus Global, the global leader in biomechanics for sports injury prevention and performance analysis.
So the next biggest storyline of the weekend was Farmingdale's shocking sweep of Old Westbury yesterday. To talk about that, we're going to bring in our special guest, Matt Seelinger of Farmingdale State. Matt's a junior pitcher for the Rams, and he fired a complete game shutout in Game 1 of the doubleheader. First off, congrats, Matt, on the terrific game.
Thank you first off, I'd like to say thank you for having me, and it's really great, it's really amazing to see how much Baseball on the Island has grown over the past couple of years, especially since I started in college. And I'd like to say thank you on behalf of myself, my teammates, and the rest of the players on Long Island for everything that you guys have done, and you've really done a great job.
Thank you, I appreciate it, Matt. So when the group started off this year, 0-6, you know, a lot of people had kind of written Farmingdale off as a rebuilding year for them. And what was it really like inside the clubhouse for you guys? Where was your confidence level at?
Well, I think being one of the 5 upperclassmen that we had on the team to start off the year, we as the upperclassmen knew it was going to be tough to get it going because we were very young, extremely young. On a team of 30 guys, we had 22 new guys, so it's definitely tough to go with it. But as the seniors and the upperclassmen, we knew to keep our head on straight, and we knew how to go about it because I've won the championship here once, and we knew how it was going. But the young guys, we had to groove them, but I see as the season progresses, they're getting more confidence, and even Coach Osik's getting more confidence in them. And the clubhouse, nothing was ever under any scrutiny. We were confident the whole time.
Mm-hmm. And going into your start against, Old Westbury, being that, those 2 teams have been longtime rivals, was it just another game for you?
I like to look at it both ways. I never like to hype up one game specifically because it helps me stay calm and confident in my start. But being this is my 3rd year here, I know the rivalry between Old Westbury and Farmingdale. We beat them my freshman year, they beat us my sophomore year. So in my career, we're tied 1-1. But before I got here, I knew first day you stepped on campus, they're our biggest rival. And I respect them very much, but I know the rival. And I knew yesterday was a big game also because first place was on the line. And but definitely, it's a good game to go to for Farmingdale versus Old Westbury.
Now, Matt, despite the animosity or the beef between the 2 teams, do you have a lot of respect for the individual players on Old Westbury?
Oh, absolutely. I have much respect for everyone, and specifically just a couple of guys I went to high school with, and Jesse Russo, who's having a phenomenal year, and it was a tough out for me yesterday. Yeah. Tommy Zegan's a good player also. I didn't go to high school with him, but same age as me, so I've seen him my first 2 years. He's definitely a great player. All respect for him and all the rest of the team. They're definitely a good team, and you gotta respect your opponent, and they're definitely a good team, like I said.
Mm-hmm. Now, you talked a bit earlier about the slow start that your team had gotten off to. What would you say is the difference between now and then? In terms of how the team is playing, the whole morale. What would you say is the main difference?
Well, I think in-game experience definitely was the main contributor to that, and we've all been working hard at practice. Been working hard in the weight room and everything, and it's starting to come along. But I think once we strung those first 2-3 win streaks going in a row, we haven't looked back at all. And I think we really are starting to grow, and the freshmen and the sophomores and the younger guys are really starting to get a grasp on how the Farmville baseball way is played, how the college game is played, because it's much different than high school. And we need them because there's a bunch of them, and we're a team, and we're really starting to come together. And I really like what we're doing right now. I really like our team.
Now, speaking to that point of the freshmen, a lot of the freshmen, specifically Nick Attardi, who's just been lighting it up, have really been maturing, really been improving. What has it been like playing with a kid like Nick Attardi, who seems to be on base every single time?
Well, first off, Nick is a great kid. As a person, first off, that's what I like about him. But also, I love the way he plays. He's a great hitter. He works hard, and people don't realize he's also great in the outfield too. He plays a great defensive game. And as a pitcher, I know I can rely on him on any ball hit out there to him. But he works hard. He's always the first one in the cage, first one getting his reps in batting practice, before practice, after practice. He works really hard, and all the freshmen, not just him, but all of them, and that's what's really worked towards our success recently.
Now, you mentioned the fact that playing college ball is much different than playing at the high school level. Can you talk about some of the differences compared to playing with this team and this particular group compared to some of the other teams that you've been a part of?
Well, coming from the high school to the college game, first off, it's much quicker game, more fast-paced, and each game means more. And then to your second part of the question, my freshman year, we had 15 seniors. This year, we have 2. So that's a big difference. But I think those 2 seniors being a part of it all their first 3 years, and I go on their 4th, the Farmville tradition is passed on to them. And then I believe it's passed on to me. So now it's our job to pass it down to the younger guys on the team.
And lastly, in yesterday's game, after 2 convincing victories against a 20-win team like Old Westbury, does that mean that you guys can kind of play against anybody on your schedule now?
Oh yeah, definitely, no doubt about it. We've been rolling now, and Old Westbury is a great team, great component, great opponent, and we're gonna have to beat them when it comes playoff time, when it comes the Skyline Championship. We've met the last 7 years there. It looks like it could be that way again, but the whole Skyline Conference are full of great teams, so you never know. But beating a team like that boosts the confidence of not only myself, who's been there before, but now the freshmen and the younger guys get a taste of what it's like to beat one of the top opponents in the Skyline, and what it takes to get to win that Skyline Championship and really grow as a team. And I think it was a really good win, good confidence booster yesterday.
Very good, Matt. I really enjoyed having you on set with us today, and congratulations on a good win yesterday, and best of luck the rest of the
Thank you. Thank you for everything. Thank you for having me.
Not a problem.
Thank you. Thank you.
Baseball on the Island is sponsored by St. Charles Sports Medicine, at the heart of health.
So our next story is Malloy's weekend series with Queens College. The Lions, who split the 4-game series with them this weekend, they're number 2 in our latest power rankings. This is the first week that they weren't number 1. We had them number 1 as the previous 4 weeks before that. But overall, they still sit pretty at 22-11. They're 7-4 in the ECC, with the likely player of the year in Angelo Navetta and the likely pitcher of the year in Ron Bauer. So Nakeem, you've seen a lot of the Lions play so far this year. Is Kelly and Bauer as good as advertised?
Oh, absolutely. I believe that, Ronald Bauer and Bobby Kelly, they're the best 1-2 combo in the conference right now, I would say. You have one coming from the right side in Bauer and one coming from the left in Kelly. And what they both bring to the table, they're both able to throw strikes, they're both able to get ground balls, and they're both very dynamic in the ways that they get batters out. With Bauer, he throws well, he throws pretty hard, and he has a great curveball as well, and he keeps the ball down the zone.
That seems to be the great equalizer with him, because to throw a historical perspective in there, Dwight Gooden was a guy who was high fastballs and curveballs. So when the hitters recognize the pitch coming out of his hand, they guess it's one or the other. But a lot of times when you throw that hard and they guess wrong, there's no way of catching up.
Exactly. And so he's able to get a lot of ground balls, and even when he gets in trouble, he's walked a lot of batters. For a person with an ERA as low as he has, he's walked several batters this season.
ERA is 0.68 for our viewers, which is leading the ECC right now.
But like I said, he's able to get out of it by getting ground balls, timely ground balls, and utilizing that great infield that Malloy has, and they're able to turn a lot of double play balls as well as get out of a lot of big innings. And so he's been able to get in and out of trouble pretty quickly.
And speaking to that point of the infield defense, they have one of our players that was named to our All Long Island team last year, Michael Vaughn at second base. They have Kevin Padell, who we named to All Long Island team at third base, and they have Brian Murphy, who's a very short-handed shortstop. So he's been able to get out a lot of jams with first and second, one out, no outs, and get those double plays.
Absolutely, and it's been the same with Kelly coming from the left side. He's also been able to keep the ball down the zone. Being a left-hander, he does have some natural movement to his fastball, and he's also able to mix that in with his off-speed pitches as well, which is why he's been right up there in the league leaders for ERA as well. I believe he's in third right now.
1.32, so they have as good of a 1-2 combination as you mentioned. So now in terms of their offense, they're at 305, which for a Division II team, I mean, you don't see that too often. You see a lot of good pitching, so that's very impressive. What do you think has made the offense so successful?
Their offense is hands down, I would say, the most dynamic offense in the conference. They have speed, they have good pop, and they have a bunch of timely hitting. They have hitters up and down the lineup that are batting over 300 with guys like Anthony Alberghina, Angelo Nevada, who's leading the conference right now. Who's
390.
And you have guys like Dalen Guzman, as you mentioned, Kevin Padell. All those guys have contributed this year, and basically it's been get a guy on base with a base hit. They're able to get him over with the stolen base with guys like Guzman, who's up there in steals right now, and
thrown out.
exactly. And so they're able to get guys in scoring position, and they're able to drive them in. Alberghina, as I mentioned earlier, he's second in the conference in RBIs right now, and he's been able to drive guys in, whether it's with the sac fly or RBI double. He's just been able to get the job all season long. And with Nevada, he's just been the hottest hitter in the conference all year.
Well, it's very interesting. Keen obviously did a very good job for us covering the local colleges, on at Roy, Hofstra, to Delphi, so we know it's a start for the team. Thank you so much for thanks for having me. No problem. All right, so that concludes our first episode of Baseball Line Weekly. Make sure to check the website. Follow us on Twitter at Baseball Live. We're always tweeting out stats, scores, and games, and just making sure that you guys are as informed as possible on how the games. Every day, Monday to Friday, and we also have our forward narrative from Keane, Vinny, Chris, as well as Dave, and cover stuff. So thank you very much for tuning in. I just want to say that